introduction. I would say thank you by your invitation. And it's a pleasure and an honor to me talk here, speak to other breeders and our founder.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm a biologist, and 7 years ago, I wished to buy a dog to guard as a watchdog. So do some research, ask about some people, and I was at that time between a Rottweiler and a Dogue Brasileiro. That's our breed, and it's a national breed recognized only within Brazil. We have the category in our kennel, our Brazilian kennel, and some races are recognized, some breeds are recognized only within Brazilian borders, not outside Brazil. The Fila Brasileiro is the other case. Fila is recognized around the world in all other kennels. Yeah, but this breed, the Dogue Brasileiro, was founded, was initiated here some I don't know, some 2 hours travel by my house. So I wanted to know this breed. So I made some telephone call, speak with Marcia, this Pedro's wife, and go to the kennel and see the dogs. and I was fallen in love with this female. That's my first female, Loba. And from that, I know that this will be a challenge, and some way I know that will be need to contribute with the breed by this female. So 2 years late, I received from gift by Mr. Pedro a male, the Zork. Is my first male on the breed, and then 2 years late from that, I took my first lead and 15 puppies. And
how many? 15 you said?
15 puppies.
Wow.
Yeah, a big litter. And that was 2 fire baptisms because a litter is so big, you have to help the male. It's not only to close the door and take care of your children. That's not possible.
No.
You have to take the hands and I will help you. No problem.
Yeah.
So by this, some of these puppies went to houses, and people start to work with them, work on obedience, and some guarding, the protection work, and from this. 2 of them were most I can speak most distinguished between the others. Most worked too. So it's a work issue too. And these dogs, one of them is Iago do Vento Sul. My kennel, my suffix is Vento Sul. It means in English a south wind, because I'm from the southern part of Brazil. Okay. And so I like to imagine that the dogs came from south.
Right.
Yeah, então that's metaphoric.
Yeah. All right.
And one of these males, Iago, do Vento Sul, was bought to Leo Sands. Leo Sands buy the puppy, and Leo is a partner, and now are studying and working with Schutzhund here in Brazil. So Leo, together with Adriano, who was Brazilian champion in Schutzhund, worked this dog, and the results are very good to a bull. I will say that a bulldog. And Dogue Brasileiro is much like other bulls, but one difference: the defense instinct or the defense drive is more accentuated within our bull. So the dogs are often orientated to man fight, not just hunt and other hunting or fighting with other animals. Just the majority of bully races now. So after that, I was impelled to work my dogs on Schutzhund too. And we begin a process with travelings, 5 hours, 6 hours to one state, one Brazilian state, 6 hours north, 6 hours south to train. Yeah, Leo and Adriano here, I and others come there, and we have this traveling training group.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And I was in other seminaries with how can I say this in English? It's workshops with other dogmans here in Brazil. Mostly people studying and working with Schutzhund, with IPO, IPO. Yeah. And my dogs were just fine in this routine. Yeah. I to describe to you more or less the psychology of the Dogue Brasileiro within the IPO. Them are often between Mali and Malinois Shepherd and German. Yeah, the not so high hunting drives. Yeah, but not this crazy hunting drive to balls and things like that. And not the extreme aggression that we see in some German Shepherds oriented by men. Yeah, so often in the middle term of that. So yeah, that's are dogs that will be fine in training by puppy and working with real dogmen that know the discipline will be very fine. That's the history. I don't know if you have a question about it.
Yeah, I definitely read a little bit about the history. I was more impressed about why I wanted to really reach out. I was more impressed about how those two breeds created something that is so suited for IPO type work. I was amazed because, you take an English Bull Terrier, which is very human passive and loves humans and doesn't really seem to have that instinct. It does have the history of dog fighting, as we know, unfortunately, but they have that instinct. I've seen that into an English Bull Terrier where they are extremely aggressive towards other dogs and are willing to, fight, unfortunately, fight to the death. But I haven't seen that ability in protecting too much with a bull terrier unless it's extreme measures, somebody breaking into the house. They might have that instinct, but I wouldn't say all of them do. And the boxers that I've seen here in the United States are very, very, very passive and more energetic and more willing to play than they are to protect. And I haven't seen them be extremely I think they're rough with other dogs just because of their nature, but I have not seen them be dog aggressive or human aggressive. So to me, it was interesting to see not only the looks. The looks to me are fantastic. It's like the best of both worlds, really. But it was really interesting to see how you worked with them and just see how they reacted. I was really impressed. So I was like, well, I got to have somebody like yourself on to talk about this dog that comes from Brazil that most of us Americans, laymen's like me who are not like extreme dogmans, would understand. So why do you think it was, and how was that the originator's idea when he bred the dog? The two dogs together?
Pedro Dantas told me that he in the time of the it's some things are important to clarify in this. First of all, in 17th when 70s when this breed was initiated, of bull terriers here in Brazil and most of boxers here in Brazil, they were watchdogs, guard dogs.
Okay.
Why? Because the people in Brazil use in this time, the people uses the dogs orientated in this sense. So most of families have dogs with this objective: watchdogs, guard dogs, defense dogs. With the bull terriers, some people in this time do fighting dogs. Yeah, this in Brazil was prohibited. Is from
prohibited.
I don't know. Yeah, prohibited. I don't know the year, but some like in the 70s. I think that it will be not prohibited. Yeah, people can do this. So we join together this defense dog, the boxer, German boxer, and the fighting dog, the bull terrier. Yeah. So combining the two psychologists made a dog with a lot of stamina, a dog who likes to fight. Yeah. A dog who can hold physical injury. Yeah. A dog, very hard dog, and affective dog by the nature of both race. Yeah, affective to the family, and but the most important was the selection before the initial breeding. Yeah. Because the Dogue Brasileiro now is not only the cross between two breeds, the two original breeds. The selection work made after this initial breed bring us the real nature, the actual nature of the Dogue Brasileiro, the psychology nature, yeah. But this project is not finished yet. We are working on this. We are working to breed dogs with more defense drive, but with other drives to act like a support drive. Yeah, not so high defense that the dogs can eventually fall on running, preservation instinct, high defense, but with other support drives that impel the dog to the man fight. Yeah? Some my house or my owner give me the order, I will attack this invader, this strange, this I don't know, if it was needed. Yeah? So the selection, the beginning of the race is important in terms that it permits the post-selection work. Without the selection, we don't have the Dogue Brasileiro. So, Pedro project and write the breed tests, temperament, and psychology tests to the breed, and then we start to test the dogs. Yeah, was in past a time that all dogs, all breeders have tested dogs. So it's a lot of controversial by these tests, in these tests, because they are rudimentary tests, very simple tests. But in the last simplification, these are the tests what we need. In fact, because they are attack tests to you, yeah, and attack with two dogs, double attack. So two dogs with the same sex, the same gender, male, female, or male, female, male. Yeah. So you can do there are the two modalities. You can do with one dog. We can do with two dogs same sexes or different sex. So dogs orientated to fight other dogs will release the human and fight the companions. It's a simple idea, but a very very smart idea too. So these tests will, I think that were the how can I say the real force within the breeding program. Real force within the breeding. So now we have a dog that works on humans. Sometimes we have fighting issues. It's not uncommon in the breed, but we are still working. Less dogs more orientated to humans and more with more defense.
Is there any other jobs that you think that the Dogue Brasileiro would be good for besides protection work? And is there any dogs that are starting to be trained for police work or hunting?
Yeah, some people are using them to hunting dogs. They're fine in this job, but we think that these have to always have a secondary role in the race, in the breed, because the instincts involved in one involving in one and the other jobs are severely distinct. So with a hunting dog, we want a dog who fight another animal. So as a boar dog, maybe with severe stamina, with lots of strain and jaw strain, but we want a dog who are able to work with unknown dogs and peoples. Yeah, you made a group of hunters. Yeah, let's go hunt there. Okay, you go. That's other hunters that you don't know. Your dog are not familiar with them. So now with the project that we are running, that accidents may occur. Yeah, because the dog is the very strange dogs and very strange and with some aggression oriented to humans. You know that can be some problems in the hunt. But some dogs with less defense instinct that we on within the defense program, I will say that there are not two programs in the breed, but some puppies that we don't use within our main breeding program. I will say that will be fine in hunt, in hunting, because the last the puppies with less defense drive are not the puppies that we are looking to breed. Yeah, but these puppies, most of them have extreme high hunting drive, so they can do the hunt job without any problem. And other job that Dogue Brasileiro is doing now, not as a working within this job, but training to this dog just to do this job well, is the tracking, because we are training our dogs in IPO, and IPO we have the three sections: obedience, tracking, and so some dogs are doing a great job in tracking. So we are thinking that these dogs are pointing a new direction, and we maybe we produce a dog that can use the smell sense as a tool to work too. Yeah, by this, but it's an interesting issue, because the most you will have the most high tracking and smell use when the dog know that can be a man who will be bite in the end of the track.
Right.
So when the dog imagine that will be a fight there, the dog, the instincts afflorate more. So maybe the tracking process within a police job will be the more used or uh, more fitted job
Yeah.
to the mind of.
Yeah, I don't know much about IPO, and I don't know much about training or everything. But what I just my natural instinct by watching videos and then watching some of yours is that I get the feeling that wow, this dog could probably do what a Belgian Malinois does. You know what I mean? Eventually,
Yeah.
with the right selection, etc., and the right breeding programs. But um, plus, I like the looks better than a Malinois. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want to see that. Um, yeah, it's great that you guys are working on that. I'm just amazed at all the really nice dogs, different kinds of dogs, especially the bull breeds that your country, Brazil, has. So, um, yeah, I commend you for your work. Um, what would you say the standards are uh, for the Dogue Brasileiro right now? What is the correct weight and height and all of that?
Yeah. Now we are working in improve some of these uh, measures.
Mm-hmm.
We are working to breed more taller and weighter dogs because um, not because the dogs are small, but because eventually some puppies are uh, a little bit small than the others.
Mm-hmm.
So we are working to improve the mean of the all population
Mm-hmm.
to uh, by this way our small dogs are bigger than in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the process. But a good within the standard dog brasileiro, uh, you can expect a male with some about 30 to 35 kilograms and uh, something like uh, 55, 57 centimeters in the cross. I don't know how to. We call cernelha this region of
The
the
weathers,
dog.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we measure the height
Mm-hmm.
in this spot. So this was a good and a stud dog. Yeah, a dog with pattern to stud. So females, something small than that, but more or less the same than the males. A little bit lighter because of the muscles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is the what we consider now a good dog to stud. In a good female to be a mother. But uh, it's important to note that some dogs have you see my videos
Mm-hmm.
and you may see the lobo working. It's one of my males. Lobo is a dog that he is not the bigger dog that I have, but his mind is a great defense dog mind. So he's a little bit lighter than the other male Zork. Zork is his father, his son of Zork. He's son of Zork and Loba, my two Dogue Brasileiro. And he's about 29, 30 kilograms, and he's about 53, 55 centimeters. But he's a very aggressive dog to man, to human, and a very he has a conformation, the general conformation of the body. It's very interesting. He's a but fast and strong dog. So this is a dog that I am using in my breeding program. Despite the light, despite the height of the dog.
Do you are these dogs? Do they show these dogs? Do they do any conformation work, or is that?
No, we don't work this, and we have a club, Bull Boxer Club. Bull Boxer, we preserve the name by the history of the breed. So, and this club, we have the conformation test. That's it. It's a simple, send me picture and video of your dog, and we send this to 3 judges, and they vote in the conformation, and we have this registered within our system, our website. So, but we are working only with this conformation test by the sense of preservation of the standard of the breed, not the sense of competition. Oh, my dog is wonderful. Your dog is not so wonderful. So I'm a best dogman. That's not that's not the philosophy within the club.
Right.
Dogue Brasileiro, we used to say the most beautiful Dogue Brasileiro is the one that bites and fights harder than man. Beautiful dog.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Could you see this dog going, coming to somewhere like the United States or Canada or Europe? Do you see it expanding even more? As somebody who wants a functional dog, that they may look into Brazil and the what we call the Brazilian Dogo?
Yeah. Sean, 2 times from now, I was a little bit more, and I sell 2 dogs to United States. Yeah, but for some reason the business would not confirm, so the dogs stay here in my house with me now. But yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Somebody looks for a Dogue Brasileiro or wants a bully breed orientated to protection. Just contact us, and we can. No problem. We have more people looking for dogs than puppies looking for homes.
Right.
Now more people interested than leaders.
That's awesome.
But fine to us, because this is not a breed to be popularized around the world and made some the same that the people do with pit bull or Rottweiler or Doberman and other breeds around the world that were just fine breeds in some time and now are breeding without responsibility in health and psychology issues. No? So to us, it's important to maintain the breed, but with the right kind of breeders and the right kind of dogs being bred. That's the main question about this. So if anybody wants a dog, yeah, just no problem to us.
So now, go back a little bit. Is there a movement to, because you talked about a little more size on consistency, is there a movement to introduce a third breed, or is it just natural type selection that you guys are looking for? Because I know in the United States, like, there's a lot of breeds that will secretly introduce a third breed to get the look and the size or whatever they're looking for, and they won't say, "Hey, this is." My American Bulldog has a little bit of Bull Mastiff in him. You know what I mean? But is there a movement within your community that are secretly trying to add a third breed to get things like size?
Yeah. Well, we have actually in the foundation of Dogue Brasileiro, we have three breeds, not two only. Three breeds are used. So we have the first cross between Bull Terriers and German Boxers, and after that, sometime later, Pedro add some of dogs that was pit bulls.
Okay.
But here in Brazil, when they came to Brazil, these dogs are imported from Mexico and basically Mexico and United States. But when these dogs came in Brazil, they receive registered as American Staffordshire Terrier. So this was dogs that we call double register, yeah, because they are genetically pit bulls, but in the paper they are American Staffordshire. They are pit bulls. That's not difference.
American, yeah.
This was in the beginning of the race, yeah. Some years before, a guy here in Brazil, a breeder, his name is Wagner Montanha. He has a breeding program with American Staffordshire Terriers for defense work. And in some time, he was a breeder of Dogue Brasileiro too. And some of these Americans, Staffordshire Terriers, were crossed with the Dogue Brasileiro by Pedro Dantas, our founder. So we have the three breeds mixed to found our basic genetic pool. Yeah. Bull Terrier, German Boxer, and American Staffordshire Terrier. So now we are looking for in the correct when we find the correct dog, the correct American Staffordshire Terrier with our the characteristics that we think that we need, and the correct Bull Terrier and the correct German Boxer, we can do the initial breeds again. Yeah, but that are very rare dogs now, because you speak in the beginning of our talk here. The most of Bull Terriers now are show dogs. Yeah, most of boxers are not. They don't work, and most of American Staffordshire Terriers are show dogs too. So have the frequent finding of the correct dog. It's most like a discard dog within the main programs of the breeds. Yeah.
Right.
But if we found the correct dog, yeah, no problem. We do some reintroducing with the same bloods, not new ones. Yeah, because the Dogue Brasileiro, it's interesting to note that Dogue Brasileiro was raised by bully breeds. Yeah, the German box is a bully breed in the beginning, the origin, the breed, and the English Bull Terrier and the American Staffordshire is the same. So we don't want to fall out of the foundation of the breed. Yeah, Dogue is a bull. That's not the. If you see the dog, you frequently people ask me, what kind of bull is this? What kind of bully breed cross is this? Yeah, the people don't know the breed. They ask me, oh, that's a pit bull with American, that's pit bull with some bull terrier, that's American with bull terrier. What is this cross? The people imagine the breeds involved. No, it's a different breed. It's a Brazilian breed. Oh, that's fine. I don't know the breed. Okay, that's my dogs. I breed. I'm Diego. This investment thing that all Brazilian Dogue Brasileiro owner do, né? In the streets. Yeah. That's common. But everybody who looks at the dog, no, it's a bull. What kind of bull, I don't know, but it's a bull. Yeah. Right. So we don't want to run from this heritage.
Absolutely. So what would you say to somebody like me who would be interested in a dog, but lives in the Midwest United States, which is could be extremely cold, below zero at times Fahrenheit, with snow and ice? Could a Brazilian Dogo stand up to that kind of extreme temperature?
Well, here in South Brazil, we have temperatures from zero, but -5 is the most cold that we have see here. Yeah, in our winter. For some days, not for some months. So in extreme cold environments, you will have to take some cares with the dogs.
Absolutely.
Some protected place to sleep, eventually within the house or in a garage or something like that. In the weather, they don't will be fine, I think. I don't have notice of no dog in this extreme so cold environment, but with some with some cautions, I think that we will be fine.
Yeah. For me, I would keep the dog inside. I don't, it'd be, but, what would you say like a living environment for Brazilian Dogo would be for somebody like me? Could they live in a small environment, like say an apartment, as long as they got exercise, or is it strictly a dog that needs a lot of room to move with a fence due to liability? Like an American Pit Bull, you don't want it to roam around. You want to protect it, and you also want to protect the animals around. So what would be? Could they live in an apartment or a small house with a small yard as long as they got exercise, or is this not a good idea?
Yeah. They can live in small spaces. That no problem. But I have seen that the training process is important to place the correct place the mind of the dog in the correct place. Yeah. So the dog will need some physical training, running or uh, swimming. I don't know what kind of physical job, some physical job, and it's important once a week or in the beginning once a week or when the dog knows the training, you can be twice, 2 weeks or a month, one time a month. You have to train your dog to protection from some time, some I think 1.5 years or 2 years. Yeah, correct job to do. Otherwise, the dog will ruin your house. That's they have so much. They can eat a couch and I don't know a bed. I don't know what
Yeah.
more. Uh, that's some cases that we know. The people who locks the door, let the dog free in the house, and came back. The dog ruined the so they can be much they can be much problem makers. Yeah, big
Right.
problem
Right.
makers.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
when it's correct, I will change my camera to see you something here. Just a little bit. Oh, there we go. I'm frozen here, man. To show you a dog,
Now.
a box.
Right.
Yeah, that's a box. Yeah,
Right.
he's one of my breeding by me. He was breeding by me. His his grand grandson from Zork and Loba. Yeah, his name is Blitz. Blitz from Blitzkrieg. The
Uh-huh.
that's I place she in this box when I leave the room, when I
Right.
leave the home. Okay? In
Yep.
this way, she don't do nothing that I don't want in my house.
Absolutely. Yep. Definitely. I got to do that even with
Yeah.
my English bulldogs. So, yeah. Situations you told me that, they'd be good with as long as they had training and a place to be while you weren't around, so they don't destroy your place. That's, I would say, like with most dogs. Um,
Yeah.
you kind of, to bring it all together. You talked about what you see the future. Could you expand about a little bit more where you would like to see the Dogo Brazil go from here, and where you see it, say in 10, 15, 20 years as a breed?
Yeah. Well, man, I'm now um, a little bit uh, I don't know how to say this, happy, a little bit happier than in the recent past, because there are new breeders, new interested breeders. Yeah, we have now some owners becoming breeders from, I don't know, some months from now. Yeah, they will have the first leaders of their lives with Dogue Brasileiro, and people are more interested in work their dogs too. Yeah, that's very important to the 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 preservation
Mm-hmm.
of the original Dogue Brasileiro. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a working dog. It's a family dog who are able to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the philosophy. So you have to work your dog
Mm-hmm.
to know if they are able to work. Yeah,
Right.
because otherwise you don't have the assurance that they will work when you need.
Mm-hmm.
So the people are interested in work their dogs. That's a very important thing to me, and we are able to uh, enlarge the population of the breed. That's a very important. So more dogs, more breeders, and more working or more dogmans. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
more working their dogs. That's the thing that now we are having within the Brazilian dog community, and in some years, I think some 10 years or 15 years, I think that we will have more dogs and more selection, better selection within our breed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hope and what I am seeing from now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people studying, understanding the dog, and so and including the training system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, training system. I think that IPO, it's a great discipline to work our dogs, but I think that in the old-fashioned way. Yeah, the old-fashioned way of IPO that I like to call original Schutzhund. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, was the discipline, the selection system that made the Rottweiler, the Doberman, the Boxer, and most of all the German Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
That was the prime protection dog. Yeah. So this system is important because it works without the aggression and do not permit that the hunting drive um, overpass the aggression drive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Our dogs need to have defense instinct because when someone breaks your house, this is the instinct that impel the dog to work in this situation. Yeah, there will not be a man running. That will not be a man shaking things or a small ball or a bite, a pillow. The man will not have these things. The man will break our house and look in the dog's face.
Mm-hmm.
This is defense, man. And so we need to breed a dog who guard your house, your family, and your car, your I don't know when where you will be placed, but the dog has to be the defense drive that works well. Defense and hardness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a dog who supports some physical injury in the fight with the man, and a dog who works against the invader. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the more important thing. So the old-fashioned Schutzhund will be a good place to look. Besides, there's um, some tests, the tests of the breed that we run. Uh, we are now thinking on some, because it's important thing to speak and explain to you and other people looking at the video. The original tests were conceived in a ring way. Yeah, some like a French ring or a Monjo ring or Belgian ring,
Mm-hmm.
something like this. So the dog are working all the instincts together, mix it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know actually if the dog are working on aggression or the dog are working on hunting, because the man do some stimulus and stimulation of the dog with sounds and movement. So most of the dogs are working with impelled aggression, but with some of hunting instinct as support drive. So we need to separate these things. So we are now working in a new test to the dog that will be defense test.
Mm-hmm.
Only no stimulation and only the capacity of the dog to face a man and repel the invasion.
Mm-hmm.
We are now working on this. So it is a new test, simple test to be done by anybody, any owner, and some friend helping, something like that. Something like someone breaking your door and your dog with you, the leash, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what your dog can do now.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Right. Absolutely. Now, are you guys? I know it's important for certain breeds, but I suspect I know the answer, but I'd like to ask anyway. Is there any major kennel clubs, like the American Kennel Club, the FCI? Is there any clubs that you guys are working towards maybe getting the Brazilian Dogue Brasileiro, certified, or is that's not important? That it's more about certifying it within your own community.
I was imagining if you was asking me this question, so I bring here two papers, documents. This is the documents of Loba.
Okay.
So this is a CBKC CB, KC, our Brazilian Confederation, yeah, is affiliated to FCI. Where is this? Here, member of FCI.
Okay. Yeah. I get the gist. Yeah.
The CB, KC are member of FCI, but this is I was speaking lately from this. This is a not recognized breed by FCI.
Right.
So, but our CBKC are a kennel club, the Brazilian Kennel Club, affiliated to FCI. One day, if the breed was recognized by FCI, I think that will be the most shortly moved. Yeah, but this is a paper that not all Dogue Brasileiro has because some breeders only take this paper. That's our paper.
Okay.
From our club. Yeah. Bull Boxer Club.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. That's our paper. All Dogue Brasileiros have this paper. Because that's a free paper.
Okay.
And that's a club job that's made for the club, and we have here all the breed lines, the dog, the father and mother and father, second, third, fourth generation, all dogs number. I will show you here that it's my young female. Yeah, that's the number. And we have an online system that we can trace these lines to the origin of the breed. That's our internal job. I can say. So we have these two papers. Most of dogs have just this one, but this paper it's possible to do, but now the CBKC are asking for three judge evaluation system to emit this one initial register, so that will say that your dog is conformed to the morphology of a Dogue Brasileiro, but blank genealogy. So it costs 500 reais, our money here in Brazil. That's a little bit expensive to us. So most of people of breeders will not be this paper now. So, but with this one, we are doing the job of registering our line dogs, our genealogies. So I don't know, man. Someday this work will be, I don't know, use it on somewhere else. I don't know, with FCI. I don't know, with CBKC or other club around the world. Yeah, but the register is done.
That's awesome.
We have all registered.
That's awesome. That's really important, and just to legitimize, the program that you're doing, and that's great that you guys are doing it yourself and really taking the time to, get all the genealogy to it. That's awesome. A lot of people don't do that. And here's just kind of a question that I like to ask people just that have dogs and live the dog lifestyle. What is your morning and evening routine like with your dogs? What do you do when you first wake up, and what do you do before you go to bed with them?
Yeah. Well, now I have a small puppy with I don't know, maybe 8 weeks old. And that's all I release him and his mother from the dormitory to the outside area, the kennels. So I let them, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes walking and playing around and barking to other dogs and something like that. So after that, I take them to the inside again and release the other dogs to walk and play around with each other. So after that, I do the cleaning routine. And something like 11 o'clock, I do the feeding routine to the dog. And after that, some training, some obedience training with me. Yeah. And after that, I have to work because I have another work. So I'm a teacher in a university here in my city. So I take a shower and go to university, do my administrative job, and most nights I have classes to students. So I'm home 11:30, 11:20. So I release the dogs again and play some time. And after that, everybody goes bed.
They go to bed, yeah.
And once a week, most Saturdays, I do some training, defense training, with my local group. Yeah, we are now three colleagues working the dogs of each one of us. So in this group, we have a German Shepherd, Malinois, some of our local bulldogs here.
Camparos.
Yeah. Fabrício Tiberê, and Brazilian Dogue Brasileiros in this. Now we are working with the dogs. Some of the dogs are most advanced on the training, but most of them are beginners. So now we have working on the review, I don't know how to speak this in English, but it's the Revier command that we see on the IPO proofs.
Right.
We are working on this with most of the most advanced dogs. Now Zork, Loba, and the female of Tiberé, the Daga. Daga is a local name to a knife, local culture knife. So now Zork, Loba, and Daga are working on this part of training, protection training.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So you got your own little community there. How would you say the Dogue Brasileiro is stacking up against like a Malinois? Are they have similar instincts? Are they working, getting close to that ability, or?
Yeah, they have. I think that most of Dogue Brasileiros have a little bit more aggression and a little bit less hunting. So
right, you said that.
Yeah, but they are dogs that work very good in some sense, and need some adaptation in training system,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing that this character that can break the routine. Yeah, something that we are need. We have to do some adaptation to the dogs, but we are clearly working within the system. That's not a big deal. It's the same with the Malinois and German Shepherd.
Yeah.
We The train is a little bit different, dog by dog and breed by breed. I
Right.
think that's it's a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us are very. Uh, it's a difference between the the breeds. The Dogue Brasileiro is a very hard dog, very hard dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's no problem to physical correction. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with you some correction with your dog. They actually frequently the correction don't break your dog. Uh, don't mess the train,
Mm-hmm.
and they are but they are a little bit more. Uh, how can I say that? Disperse the attention of the dog. The dog can be a little bit more looking for somebody here, somebody there,
Right.
to another end. Yeah, but, when the training progrades, the people can see that the dog will be more focused on the man. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's a training issue. The dog looks around, the man do some stimulation there, the dog focus again and work that. The
Mm-hmm.
real danger is the man, not the other dog barking, not the other animal, not the other people, not film. The real danger is the man in front of you. So we in training by training, training session by training session, we are working this, and the dogs are very responsive to the work. That's very
Right.
beautiful thing to work.
Right. Well, is there any last words that you would like to say? Anything that you would want to convey and to wrap it up? And it's been a great interview and a lot of great information. I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to do this. So yeah, any last words, any messages, and any future plans for yourself with breedings or anything like that? Just go ahead and share.
Well, no, I like to thank you the opportunity again.
Yeah.
Yes, I like to thank the confidence of my buddies within Dogue Brasileiro that asked me to talk with you and do this part. That's working to preserve this breed and to do some new leaders and new.
Sorry, you're broken up a little bit, but what I'll say is that no, I appreciate your time, and I really enjoy talking to you, and I really enjoy your dogs. Watching on your website, I think it brought a new breed to light to me, and it's something that I will continue to follow, and I'll be happy to have you on again anytime that you've got something to say. And I appreciate you taking the time, Diego, and I'll be in contact with you soon, and we'll do it again soon. Thank you very much.